I cannot believe it is always sunny in Hollywood.
I cannot believe it's always sunny in Hollywood.
Welcome to It's Always Sunny in Hollywood, where we work in rules of twos, despite the fact that there's three of us here. I don't know. It's Neil Breen rules.
Yes,
Yeah,
today's
yeah,
the,
we're
today's
talking.
the
We're talking
Breen
today.
episode. The Breen
Yes,
apocalypse.
we're,
The
we're
Breen
going. We're
apocalypse.
we're going Breen today.
Yep.
My name is Patrick.
I am Red.
And I am Lugia.
But before we go full Breen, let's jump into some news. Starting with Spirited Away. Yes, before we jump into Neil Breen, we're going to talk about an actual good movie, or in this case, a play based on a movie. Because this past week they released some image stills from the Spirited Away stage show in Japan. And I gotta say, this needs to transfer to Broadway. This looks incredible.
Yeah, these effects, puppets, whatever you want to call it, they
Costume,
The
look
costuming
amazing.
looks really good. I
puppets.
have not seen
Oh
the
my
movie, but I would like to see it and the play because it looks appealing.
This looks absolutely amazing, but it's worth mentioning alongside the image stills, they announced that a filmed version of the show is coming to Hulu Japan in the summer. We don't know if it's going to be coming anywhere else other than Hulu Japan, if it's going to be available in the US, but for 2 days they're going to release it on Hulu. That's all I got.
Alright.
I just wanted to gush about how gorgeous this looks. Seriously,
So, alright. So, have any of you guys seen Squid Game?
I've definitely heard
no.
about it. It's been everywhere the
Oh yeah,
past few months.
I've heard about it, but I have not seen it myself.
Well, all right. Well, the creator of that series is developing another series called Killing Old People Club. Um, I
Huh.
assume that
Okay.
he says it's going to be another controversial film. Um,
I can imagine
and
the
that
memes now. Uncle Ben, what happened? Killing Old People Club.
oh, I've already seen that meme.
That exists?
Um,
God damn it, I'm late.
Yeah, he did joke that he's gonna have to hide from old people after the movie comes out. But yeah, it's pretty just. I just think it's funny. Like, imagine, you create the biggest hit of the year, and then your next movie is like bunny murders, and like stomping on bunnies society or some shit like that. Like, this is unexpected. But anyway, what's next?
I assume the plot is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, I feel like the title is pretty self-explanatory. It's not
Oh boy.
it's not abstract like Squid Game.
Oh boy.
So, Remedy and Rockstar have announced that they're remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. I am a huge Max Payne fan, so I'm looking forward to it, especially because they said remake and not remaster, which leads me to believe that they're likely going to sort of combine the Rockstar, like, Max Payne 3 gameplay with, like, the original two games. Have either of
Moving
you
on.
played Max Payne?
No, I'm
Nope.
not.
All right, I highly
What
recommend
what
it. It's got
what
like
genre is it?
it's a third-person shooter, but it's got like a noir graphic novel type of story presentation, and it's basically the closest you'll ever get to feeling like you're in the Matrix because it's got a slow motion bullet time mode.
All right, and
Last bit of news.
last bit of news.
Little
We
update
got
from last week.
yeah, a little bit update regarding the Will Smith controversy. Apparently, the Academy responded to this by banning Will Smith from attending anything related to the Academy for the next 10 years. So
Yes.
until 2032.
And a
From what
lot
I
of
can-
people thought it was controversial because there were a lot of people in the academy that are, convicted pedophiles, and they're wondering how come they haven't been banned. And people think that's a bit of a gross overreaction from the academy, considering past conduct.
From what I hear, he can still be nominated. It's just that he can't attend them personally.
Yeah, and they're letting him keep the award, and I mean you can't really take back an award, the achievement anyway. It's not like they're gonna be like, all right, so since Will Smith didn't get it, we give it to the runner-up. Like, no, there is no runner-up.
Mm.
You already announced it, so everyone's like, okay, yeah, but we know who you picked.
Guys, remember 5 years ago when La La Land was mistakenly named Best Picture?
Yeah.
People thought that was the craziest thing to ever happen at the Oscars. And before that, there was the Idina Menzel thing.
Oh yeah, Adele Dazeem.
Yes.
Adele Dazeem. I don't know. I think the La La Land thing was that. Like the Will Smith thing is crazy, but the La La Land, that is like a big goof. That
Yeah.
is the biggest honor in cinema.
That
And
one's
you-
funny because the Academy was the one that messed up. It wasn't just like some actor. Like that was
Yeah, I
entirely
know.
the Academy.
I know. I know. They were already up there giving their speech, and then it's like, oh, false alarm. Oh my god, that was bad. Oof.
I think
Anyway,
that's
you
all the
ready to-
news we have. That was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Wait, one more bit of news
Oh.
because Sonic the Hedgehog, and I gotta mention it.
Oh, the
Um,
Ken Penders thing?
Ken Penders is suing Sega again.
Of course.
For what?
And you know why they're suing? Do you want to know why he's suing Sega?
Sure.
Because they gave Knuckles parents, and he thinks he owns that concept. I think he owns the concept of Knuckles having parents. Never
Alright.
change, Penders. I feel like eventually, like Sega, they're just gonna be like, you know what? We are never making anything related to Knuckles ever again because of this Penders fella.
Is that why Sonic 3 and Knuckles has never really been re-released?
No,
It's why
I
we've
think
never gotten a
that's just,
game or a sequel to Sonic Chronicles, because that game sparked a lot of
Yeah, that's-
controversy with Penders.
Chronicles is because of Penders. None of the other games are actually affected by him. Just supplementary material, but yeah.
Alright. So, we ready to go Breen?
Yes.
Go Breen
full
or go
Breen.
home.
Alright, let's go Breen.
All
Take
right.
it away, Lugia.
So, I should note we are recording this like just minutes after watching the movie itself, so our opinions are very fresh, and we're still trying to comprehend what happened, or at least they are. I've seen this movie like 3 times. This is the
Yeah,
first
curious-
time these two
why,
have
why
seen
don't
it.
you give the plot
Hold
synopsis
up,
so
out of
we can
curi-
comprehend it?
Hold up, out of curiosity, how long of notes do you guys have?
I took 0 notes for this.
I didn't take notes. I'm going
You
off the
didn't?
cuff.
You
Yeah.
didn't? Gee, I took notes while watching. I have like a page and a half. I'm just curious, like what.
Oh, go ahead.
Anyway, and now carry on as you were.
So before I go over the plot and the best way I possibly can, I want to go over Neil Breen as a filmmaker. So he doesn't really have much of a background per se. He just kind of started making movies on his own terms. He never went to film school, actually. He taught everything by himself. And he's an independent filmmaker because he doesn't want to be a part of the quote-unquote Hollywood insiders group. I think that's just another way of saying that he wants to make these movies as he sees fit and doesn't want to get into anything, what's the word I'm looking for?
No studio interference, basically.
I guess, yeah. So you guys
Anyway.
haven't seen any of Neil Breen's other works, but more often than not, he is responsible for the directing role. He writes his own movies, he produces them, he finances them, and edits them, and also stars as the main protagonist in all of them, or at least to my knowledge. Actually, I'm curious, did he make a new one? I think he's made 5 so far.
The Neil Breen Pentology.
Yes, he has done 5 movies plus a documentary called the Neil Breen 5 Feature Film Retrospective, which was released in 2020. His last feature film was Twisted Pair back in 2018.
Yes, but apparently his new movie's coming out soon, isn't it? I feel like I heard something.
Is he
like that.
making a new one?
Yeah, I think it comes out either this year or next year.
Do we have a name?
Lugia, I thought you would be on top of this.
Listen, even I can't comprehend the mystery of the Breen, alright?
You can't handle the Breen.
I try to study this man, but I can't learn him.
You could
Let me
follow
check
him.
his Twitter because I swear he
You could
announced something.
follow
the
what he
other day.
does. He has a Twitter?
He does have a
Yeah.
Twitter.
Huh.
But from what I've seen, he just mostly promotes his films.
Gotcha.
Although almost all of his tweets have like thousands of likes. Because...
We're proud to announce that Fateful Findings is now a part of the Criterion collection.
NeilBreen5films.com. Oh, okay. What? Only has posted 3 images.
Anyway,
Let me
Lugia,
check
please,
his, yeah.
please tell us
2020,
more.
NeilBreen5films.com. 5 film of Neil Breen 5 feature film retrospective. Twisted Pair, Path Through, yeah, all these.
Lugia, please tell us more about the Breen.
Okay. So his next movie, he's making a 5-hour and 40-minute retrospective film by Neil Breen about his 5 previous movies.
Wait, that's
This is
not
a
out
documentary
yet?
on the making of his films. This is not a documentary of the making of his films. Film students and experienced indie filmmakers found this information very valuable, educational, and insightful. The retrospective includes Neil Breen discussing his approach to successful and profitable low-budget feature filmmaking. Topics: Okay, this is like his masterclass or whatever. Apparently, you can buy it. Like, I don't. Let me check. Maybe this already came out. I'm so confused. This man's an enigma.
Shall I continue?
Yeah,
Please.
go on.
See, he just kind of came out of nowhere and just started making these movies. The first two he did, Double Down and I Am Here, ... Now. They didn't gain much traction, but it was this movie, Fateful Findings, that kind of put him on the map because other popular movie reviewers like Red Letter Media and Your Movie Sucks like found out about Fateful Findings and they said, "Oh my god, this is the greatest shit ever made," and they just started reviewing it, giving their thoughts, and then everyone became infected with the Breen virus.
Yeah, basically.
So Fateful Findings, from what I hear, is the most compared to The Room, compared to everything else he's worked on. I have not seen Double Down, Pass Through, and Twisted Pair, although I really want to see Twisted Pair. My only experiences with Fateful Findings and I Am Here Now. All right, I'm going to be real. I don't know how you're supposed to say that movie.
What? Wait, how is... Hold up.
I Am Here ... Now. Do I have to like wait a second or two before I say now?
I am here now. I guess.
It's so weird.
If that's how it's written, then that's what you say. Again, I always go back to this, but Scroforum, that's how it's written. That's how I say it.
At least you don't have to pause while saying it.
I guess, but I am here now. I don't know. Again, if that's how it's written.
So when you say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, do you say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I'm going to start saying that now. I've always said it as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but...
You never noticed that there's an ellipses in the middle?
I noticed. I guess I never registered it. So yeah, now Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's how I'm going to say it.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to wrap up the fun facts before we get started. So... Fateful Findings was elected for a screening at the Seattle International Film Festival because of its cult appeal. They figured, man, you know what? This movie looks like shit, but it's pretty fucking funny.
And the audience started throwing spoons. No, I'm kidding.
And many critics were also positive about Fateful Findings solely because it was a movie that only Neil Breen himself could make enjoyable for all the wrong reasons. You could not get anyone else. Yeah, you could not get anyone else in their director's chair to make a movie like this.
Neil Breen is like by definition an auteur because like of his distinct vision and like stuff. It's kind of funny.
I have a lot of respect for Tommy Wiseau, but The Room is his one-hit wonder, and he hasn't been able to do anything remotely similar since.
Because the thing is, Tommy was so caught on to the fact that people were making fun of him. When Neil Breen, I don't think has. He's just like, people like my movie, so I'm just going to keep doing this, and doesn't think anything of it.
I mean, I think he's still aware of his cult status. He doesn't embrace it, though.
He's aware of his cult status, but he just thinks they just like his movie, and he doesn't he doesn't dig further to find the motivation behind it. Mostly because almost every like professional review of his work, they're all satirical and like sarcastic, talking about like how it's an unironic masterpiece. So I straight up just don't think he realizes that people are kind of making fun of the movies. That he's just like, oh, people like my movies, hell yeah. And you know what? That's a good mindset, honestly.
That's right. I do have a lot of respect for Neil Breen as a filmmaker. His products, well, I mean, they're definitely not of professional quality, but they do have a lot of heart to them.
Yeah, you don't need to have professional values to make something good. I'm not saying this is good, but I'm saying you don't need a high budget for it.
Actually, before we get into the discussion of the movie, there's one more thing that I want to share, and it's buying the movies. So I actually have, yes, I have a physical copy of Fateful Findings with me.
Why am I not surprised?
You shouldn't be surprised after this time. All this time, man. Come on.
I am not surprised.
So this was sent to me through the manila envelope, and it doesn't have a DVD box per se. It's just a plastic case, a plastic
like a
DVD
CD case?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the DVD just says Fateful Findings, a Neil Breen film, www.fatefulfindings.biz. It shows the runtime, the fact that this is a DVD, copyright warning, and the trademark.
Breen didn't autograph it?
No, he didn't, unfortunately.
Aw.
Oh well. But it's a very weird way of packaging a film. I think he does this with all of them except for Double Down and I Am Here Now. And I think that's because you can't buy those physically anymore. I'm pretty sure he put them on a lot of streaming services, but in terms of physical copies, it's only Fateful Findings and beyond.
I find it
I mean,
interesting how he was able to even like get this stuff on streaming services because like
And even then, I think
they pay
beforehand, you had to do a really roundabout method of getting Double Down and I Am Here Now.
Tell me, if Neil Breen was working in like the 70s or 80s, you think he would have sold his movies on floppy disks?
He might have.
Possible.
probably VHS.
I mean, the DVD
like
works just
Laserdisc.
fine. It's just the format, the packaging it was released on was very questionable. It's like I was being sent a bomb or something.
Neil Breen reminds me of David Lynch, except like not a genius, or he is a genius, but like a different kind of genius.
Now I want Neil Breen to tell me the weather every Friday morning.
So, can you give us a plot synopsis so we can really dive into the bones of this thing?
I will try my best, but holy crap, this movie is it's easy to explain and hard to explain at the same time. So, at the beginning of the movie, there's these two kids, two childhood friends, Dylan and Leia. Leia, I don't know. Leah, fuck it.
Tomato.
They go into the woods and they discover a mushroom that turns into a box containing a rock and a couple more rocks. The one rock is very significant for some ungodly reason. They mark this place as a magical location, but then Leah has to leave because her father got transferred or something. I forgot the reason. I think that's what it was. And flash forward
business. I think it was business related.
Yeah.
That's all. They don't go into it. They just say business.
Important.
Flash
Yeah,
forward
not
to
really.
present day. Dylan has now grown up, played by Neil Breen. He gets into a car accident and nearly dies, but apparently having that rock is what saved his life. And quite frankly, the next 30 minutes of this movie is just a bunch of random stuff happening until we actually get to the plot where Dylan finds Leah again at a barbecue.
Yes.
All right, for real, guys, can you describe what happens before they reunite? In good faith, can you do it?
I just saw this movie, and quite frankly, the plot is a blur to me.
Same here. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of clocked out after an hour. I just stopped trying to figure it out. I'm just like, let's just see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm just in it for the ride.
I mean, they do drop hints for later events, like his wife being addicted to his medication, the government hacking, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, we will.
So they reunite. Dylan's wife dies, but he's like, yeah, okay. I mean, he has a bit of trauma, but after that, it's like, whatever. And then
this movie is basically structured like a porno, except replace the sex with a lot of conversations about relationships and medication and a lot of other stuff that really doesn't matter.
Like
I mean, not that
the fact that he's also an author.
Not that talks about relationships and medication isn't important. I'm just saying everything else besides that adds little to no relevancy.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He can teleport for whatever reason. People don't use doors in this movie.
Except at the end.
The one time at the end.
The one time.
And I think that was just a nightmare sequence. I say I think because, quite frankly, this movie is shrouded in symbolism that I don't think Neil Breen even understands.
So basically, long story short, what the plot is, your guess is as good as ours.
At the end, he announces that he's hacked into government systems. He has an SD card saying, I have the files. I'll put all these on the internet publicly. And a lot of people just commit suicide.
It's it's like the Pentagon Papers, only 50 years too late. So there's really no political commentary there.
It's very again, it's very simple and very hard to explain at the same time because there is a little bit more that goes on, but a lot of what happens is very inconsequential and once again shrouded in symbolism. Like, what's the point of the trash bag room?
Uh,
It's
interpretation.
Yeah, it's just a black room. The walls are just trash bags. I'm pretty sure he meant
Oh,
for that to be something
oh
else.
yeah.
But he's
Abstract.
naked in it, sitting in a corner.
Sometimes the book is there. Sometimes one of his girlfriends is there naked as well.
I kind of took that as a place of escapism for him, but I really don't know.
Honestly, I this is weird, but when I first saw that, I thought of the Upside Down from Get Out. That's it.
I'm trying to
No,
remember.
the
Yeah.
Upside. Yeah, that's the subconscious, the dark place where they're
Oh
floating.
yeah. Okay,
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
now.
Okay.
That's what I thought of whenever he went to the trash bag room, as we call it, the trash bag room.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
trash
sunken
bag
place
room from
from
now
Get
on.
Out.
I'm actually amazed. I was not aware a movie could simultaneously move so fast and so slow at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of scenes can just boil down to relationship trouble.
Okay, this is the greatest so bad as good movie I've ever seen, in my opinion.
Even more than The Room.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the room, I feel like I got kind of bored with it after a while, just because the repetition like got a bit slaggy and all those like sex scenes and stuff and it was like funny, but like
That's
that's like a
fair.
7 out of 10 to me. But like this, it was always funny. Like even when it was like boring, it was funny because like the delivery was just so odd and sometimes the delivery reminded me of the room.
I'm feeling less stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
can.
I feel like I half at one point expected a character to just be like, I have breast cancer, and out of just nowhere, just because like it just felt like that would fit in this movie, even though like I fed up with this world.
Yeah, I feel
Uh,
like this is
Neil
very
Breen
comparable to The Room in terms of that type
yeah,
of humor.
Yeah.
Neil
Um,
Breen walking into the room where Tommy died and be like, I can't believe you committed suicide.
Yeah, I mean both movies are about relationship trouble.
Yeah, I find it hilarious though, like how after the guy kills himself, they say, I can't believe he killed himself, can't believe he committed suicide like 5 times. Everything else is like rule of twos. This time they were
Oh
just like,
yeah.
nah, we're hammering
Neil
this one in.
Neil Breen loves the number two because like he has two of everything. He has two therapists, he has two girlfriends, he has countless laptops, and he repeats his dialogue like 90% of the time
Yeah, and
two
his
times.
magnum opus is called Twisted Pair. Oh, think about it. He has like movies
Yes.
about twins and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, so he loves reiterating himself.
Yeah, two women
Two
in
is
it, right?
two is a magic number.
so we
Go
pointed
on.
this out to each other when we were watching the movie, but this movie feels like it has the characters from a porno and the production design of an infomercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm expecting
Yeah.
every time like they drop something or like spill something, I'm like, has this? I'm expecting somebody to come in and say, "Has this ever happened to you?" Hi, I'm Billy Mays, and I'm
Yeah.
here to.
You know what this reminded me of?
What?
So, David Lynch, when he made Twin Peaks, he intentionally wanted to make it feel like it was like a soap opera, but like this really weird, surreal, twisted soap opera. I feel like Neil Breen thinks himself as a Lynch type, but he's either not insane enough or too insane. If
Actually,
that makes
something
sense.
I found it weird. Most of the time, there is no music playing, and it feels so awkward when it's just in silence. And whenever they do have music, it's usually the same damn woodwind piece.
Yeah, this movie reuses that song a lot.
That's like the only
It's
thing in the
called a
musical score.
leitmotif. You simpleton. No, I'm kidding.
No, a leitmotif would have different variations of that song.
I know.
This is
I'm
the
joking.
same damn piece. And even in like the dramatic scenes where like people like they shoot people, it's the music is there's different music, but it doesn't fit. It's very like light and soft music, and it just does not fit.
What if that was the intention, to make you
I don't know.
feel confused?
I don't know.
Yes. Maybe you just don't get it. You're not smart enough. You can't handle the genius of Breen.
Also, for some reason, this movie loves cropping people's faces out of frame. Like, it makes sense for the person in all black because they're shrouded in mystery. Everybody else, though, Why?
Speaking of the camera, I've counted a couple times where actors would stare straight at the camera. Neil Breen
Like
was no
they
exception to this.
like they know. They know.
Yeah, in fact, the one girl in the bathtub, when Neil Breen says, "You can't do this anymore," she slowly looks at the camera with the most disappointed face I've ever seen someone make.
She had a look that said, "I agreed to this script."
I don't get paid enough for this.
But to talk about the camera, I'm gonna admit the opening like 3 minutes of this movie, they were not poorly shot. I was pleasantly surprised. You got some cool views of the mountains, even the hallway, the slow pan of the hallway. That wasn't that bad.
I think the very first shot was interesting with the low angle camera facing at the building with the
Yeah.
clouds passing by in fast motion.
Like the first 3 minutes, unironically, actually looked pretty good. And then when Breen came in, everything like the acting, the production values, the cinematography, it all
It's like
got
he's
a
a
signi-
it's like he's
it
a
all got a
force of nature.
significant
I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
just sucked.
because he was playing an actor in that role, whereas everything else he wasn't a part of on screen, he was the director.
So who knows? Maybe a Neil Breen film without Neil Breen in a starring role could actually be decent-ish.
I mean, the man taught himself basic filmography.
The man does have talent. He like again, the first 3 minutes, it does show he knows how to operate a camera and get some pretty cool shots.
He does use a lot of dissolves to show that characters are fading in and out of frame. In fact, actually, there was this one moment where Neil Breen looks into a mirror, walks away, but the reflected image of Neil Breen on the mirror was still there. That was pretty cool.
Yes, again, the guy does have talent. Maybe not in acting, but he does have talent.
I disagree, but you know what? He definitely makes something better if he was behind the camera.
I think he was very ambitious with this movie in particular.
I mean, yeah,
Because
the plots of his other movies sound pretty insane. So who knows? Maybe all of his movies are
you know what?
ambitious.
I'm gonna go into the other movie I saw. I Am Here Now.
Now,
That was his debut, right?
No, that was his second movie. His first movie was Double Down. So I saw that movie after watching Fateful Findings, and it is there's not really a whole lot of redeeming merits to that movie. I'm gonna be real. A lot of shots are repeated twice. Like,
Again.
lot of them.
the Neil Breen rule of two.
Yeah, but that movie just accentuates that rule. It's aggravating.
Oh boy.
Also, Neil Breen plays an alien cyborg god. I mean, take that as you will, but that's a character. That's who he plays.
What's the title of the movie again?
I Am Here.
I can't believe My
Now.
Hero Academia ripped that off.
Yeah, Neil Breen's expecting some royalties.
Yeah. The My Hero Academia fans in the audience, they're gonna think that joke was hilarious. Trust me.
All one of you.
You guys remember when I said the trash bag room reminded me of the Get Out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's another weird movie comparison. The opening car crash reminded me of Punch Drunk Love.
Interesting.
Because, opening of Punch Drunk Love had a really weird car crash, and then suddenly,
Yeah.
what was the instrument again?
Harmonium.
Yeah, harmonium came out. And even later on, you see some garage when he's going to get his girl from the truck when she was kidnapped. There's garages that are not unlike the ones in Punch Drunk Love.
I don't know where Punch Drunk Love was filmed. I know Neil Breen tends to film around his home area. I believe in
I'm
Nevada.
pretty sure it was like California somewhere.
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love, I'm pretty sure it was shot in like California. Let me double check actually. Keep talking.
I think it was
Yeah,
California.
Neil Breen doesn't tend to stray too far away from his house.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Doesn't he have like a full-time job? He's like a real estate agent, right?
Is he?
I don't know. He has like a job, like a normal job that he uses to like fund his movies. And I think he like shoots this shit in like the weekends or something, or like
Yeah,
maybe
and-
just takes some time off. But I believe he is an architect.
Really?
Yes.
I would never have expected that.
So maybe he can draw pretty well. So maybe he does like have an eye for
Filmography.
framing. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why he can
Yeah.
like shoot cameras pretty well.
Yeah, I
Yes,
said
Punch Drunk Love was shot in California. Yep.
I said he has talent when it comes to composition, but if there's one thing he is not good at aside from pretty much everything else, it's editing. Like I thought Hoot
Oh
was
yeah.
bad with how it transitioned from scene to scene without flow. This was way worse. My God.
A lot of clips felt like they should have came before and or after other clips. If that is bad to you, you are going to hate the second movie.
Oh
Because
God.
again, a lot of shots are reused and they don't necessarily correlate with each other all that well.
No, this movie does not flow.
Can we talk about how Neil Breen hates computers?
So Neil Breen clearly bought a lot of computers, and he figured, you know what, I'm going to make the most out of it. So for a little bit of action, a little bit of spice, he just smashes his laptops like almost every scene they're in. He just smacks it around.
I believe he has 4 on frame at a time, but I'm pretty
And he
sure
has,
he bought more than that.
Yeah, he
and he has
definitely has more.
and he has like 5 copies of the same book.
That he signs his name on and just moves on from there.
I mean, he likes throwing around computers. His girlfriend likes throwing around the books. They're made for each other.
They don't know how to place salad on a table.
Oh my God. What was the point of that salad? Who puts a salad on top of folders and then it topples over?
They're lazy
Um,
fucks.
Again, I was expecting somebody to come in. Has this ever happened to you? Oh no, I spilled my salad.
All right.
Oh, well.
I find it interesting that both of the funniest scenes in the movie to me involved people killing themselves. Because at the end, when that dude like shot himself in the head, that was hilarious, wasn't it?
It was funny because it cut mid gunshot to somebody else.
Like it was like that is like perfect comedic editing. Like
That is
honestly,
like,
part of me thinks like it has to be like intentional to some degree because that's like something an actual comedian would do.
and of course, with Neil Breen's rule of 2, they do it again.
Yes.
Only it was on the gunshot. The transition happened. I'm just thinking. Imagine if in Joker, after he shot Murray, it just cut.
Yeah. Or imagine after Joker, after they show him shoot Murray, it then cuts to like someone watching the TV, and you just see Murray get shot again. Rule of twos.
That
The ending was insane though. Like seriously,
it was.
like that ending was definitely like that made the movie.
I am now resigning as president of the bank. I fucking lost my shit
Like
when I
exposing
first saw
the government
that.
and corporate corruption. Like that's just like it's so stupid.
Dude,
Actually,
everyone.
aside from the ending, I think the part that really got a laugh out of me was after he gets hit by the Rolls Royce. People are crowding around him, and they say, "What happened?" The Rolls Royce hit him. I saw it. Really? I had no idea based on the fact there's a man lying on the ground in front of a Rolls Royce and there's blood on the hood of said Rolls Royce.
There's no license plate, though. You can't ID that car.
I'm imagining how does he come up with these ideas? Like
I don't
a
know.
fucking sniper shooting him, and he reflects the bullet using his psychic powers. Like
Yeah, guys,
what the hell?
Guys, this movie has spice. Not only is he cheating on his girl, he's cheating on his therapist.
Oh
He was at his therapist at one point, and he said, "You're not seeing any other therapist, are you?" Nope, just
Again,
you.
2 therapists.
I am only. Again, he has to have 2 of everything. Is there anything else worth mentioning? I think I've said it.
I honestly don't know. I'm so scatterbrained right now.
I don't know. I'm looking through my notes.
Neil Breen is a drug that you should take if you want to get wild.
Oh wait,
Honestly,
there's one thing we didn't mention.
What's that?
When the guy gets hit by a pillow, you could hear a water drop sound.
Oh yeah.
I know why they did that because he was holding a water bottle at the time, but the timing of the pillow hitting his face and the water going bloop, it was just too perfect.
I can't help but feel he added in the wrong sound effect, but I can't complain. That shit was funny. Honestly, a lot of Neil Breen movies would be fun to get wasted to. Like, you could probably make a drinking game out of all of them.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, one other thing that got a laugh out of me was in the beginning with the 2 kids, and they see the mushroom. Look, Leia, a mushroom. Okay, what's so special about it?
And then it just dissolves
Like,
into the bag. But the kid is just like holding his hands in frame, like, "Hey, look!
It's a mushroom."
Forget about it.
Do kids like mushrooms? Is that what the cool kids are into these days?
Yes. I don't know what I think happened.
What?
Neil Breen saw a kid play Super Mario, and he was like, "Kids love mushrooms, got it." But yeah, overall, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. I actually have no idea how to rate this. Like,
This is the most
But it's great. I
confusing
loved
movie that we have seen. I have seen this multiple times, and even I am struggling to assess this.
I'll say
Yeah.
this is definitely one of the better so bad it's good movies that I've seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you like this movie, some other movies you can check out is Mulholland Drive by David Lynch, Under the Silver Lake. And if you want other so bad it's good movies, probably The Room. Room's the best bit, I guess. Or just
I don't.
he has 4 other movies. Just check out the other 4 Breen movies.
This is the first time where I can't come up with a score, but if you and a bunch of friends just want to get wasted on a Saturday night and watch something that you can laugh at, this is a huge recommend from
Yes.
me.
Yeah, or Sunday morning.
I mean, we did watch it on a Sunday morning, yeah.
Yeah, that was a joke. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10. Ranking wise, it's right above Apocalypse Now. I'm actually serious. That's what I'm gonna put in the ranking.
Don't tell Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola, he'd understand. He made One from the Heart. He understands true cinema.
Listen, you need to analyze a real movie from a real filmmaker, like Neil
Yeah.
Breen.
Yeah, like you guys, I very much enjoyed myself. This movie made very little sense, and I clocked out after an hour, but I was still fascinated by what I was seeing.
Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna rank it within the so bad as good movies we talked about because I feel like that'd make more sense than if I ranked it like as it's like it was a real movie. So obviously this is the best so bad as good movie we talked about, without a doubt, right? We all agree on that.
I mean, if we don't count Vampire's Kiss, then yeah.
I fucking don't count Vampire's Kiss, you motherfucker. Also, I actually do kind of find this a little bit funnier than Vampire's Kiss, but
Fair.
yeah. The Room, definitely. And I guess Samurai Cop at the bottom. Food fight in between The Room and Samurai Cop. What else? Oh, actually, not Samurai Cop isn't at the bottom. Romeo and Juliet's at the bottom.
I think I'd prefer The Room over this, but I can see why you would say Fateful Findings is the better movie. The Room has a lot more of pacing issues, especially with the sex scenes.
Yeah, the main reason that's holding me back from The Room is just like the pacing issues. That's really it. Because like this movie, for all its flaws, it's constantly moving. Kinda. I don't know.
At
It
what
never felt
speed?
boring.
Well, that varies.
Where would Street Fighter fit?
Here's the thing. I just kind of like genuinely like
Street
kind of
Fighter
enjoy that
wasn't-
movie.
Street Fighter wasn't so bad it's good. I'd say that was genuinely a good movie.
Street Fighter is dumb, but it's
Like
It
it's
is.
dumb, but like I feel like our enjoyment of it was like sincere. It was like what the
yeah.
directors intended. Same with Resident Evil. I give that like I don't know, like a 5 out of 10. So like I guess I'd rank it like I don't know. Jingle All the Way. I'll say that's a so bad good movie because I for some reason had a fucking blast watching that, even though it's a piece of crap.
And I think Street Fighter and this Fateful Findings, I think that those were the two most fun I've had.
Yeah, watching a kind of crappy movie.
Yeah.
All right.
How dare you not like The Room?
I'm not saying I don't like the. I think The Room is fine. I'm just not as crazy about it as you are.
All right.
Yes.
But again, I think in order to really enjoy a so bad it's good movie, you need to be with the right group of people because watching it by yourself is no.
I mean,
you
it can
can't
be
do that.
enjoyable, but
It can be, but I think it's way more fun when you watch it with people. Like when I watched The Room for this, when I watched The Room for the second time, that was by myself. I did not have nearly as much fun as when I first saw it with you.
Yeah. Even when I like first saw The Room, like I immediately was like, I'm showing this to my dad, and like we had a blast. But anyway, I guess it's your recommendation, Patrick.
It's my turn. All right. So guys, I have one thing to say.
yes.
Here he comes. You gonna ask me who comes?
Horton? Here's a who? No.
No. Are you gonna ask me here who's coming?
Who's coming?
Peter Cottontail, of course. Next week is Easter. We're filming on Easter. So no, I'm just kidding. Easter is next week, though.
I was gonna say, are we gonna watch Hop?
No, it's not Hop. I had a feeling you'd assume it'd be. No, it's not Hop. It's not an Easter movie.
Rise of the Guardians.
No, guys? When I say here he comes, I'm not talking about Peter Cottontail. I mean here he comes, Here Comes Speed Racer.
Oh.
Yes, I was actually just thinking that. Hell yeah, I fucking love that movie.
It has been years since I saw Speed Racer.
I actually rewatched it. Like I don't know,
I
last
have
September maybe.
I
I
have
don't know.
not seen Speed Racer in years.
I
Oh, you're
saw
gonna
it
love it.
once. I think when it
Here's the
first
thing.
came out.
Here's the thing. I saw it in theaters, and I actually own it on DVD, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it in full since I first saw it in theaters.
Yeah. I absolutely love it. That's gonna be fun to talk about. It's our second time we're talking about these directors. That's cool.
The Wachowskis, hey.
Yes. Created arguably
Here he
one of the
comes.
most
Here
significant
comes
films
Speed
in action
Racer.
history, and done a bunch of other
He's a
weird stuff.
demon on wheels. He's
Uh,
a
you
demon, and
guys,
he's gonna be
either
chasing
of you
after
guys
someone.
ever watched the show, the original series?
No.
I have
I've
not.
seen some clips of the awful voice acting though.
Okay, so I guess I'm
Yeah,
the only one that's actually a fan of the original show. Cool.
I've mostly seen Speed Racer through memes.
Yes, you've likely seen
Actually,
all those anime parodies
yes.
from like the
Yeah.
2000s,
Yeah.
like in
And
Channel Chasers.
my dad was a fan of Speed Racer when he was a
Yes,
kid.
my dad was too, and he showed me the series when
I
I was a
think
kid.
my dad was
so
as
I
well.
watched. Yeah, that was Gen X's Dragon Ball Z, I guess.
It was, I think, one of the first big anime in the US. Because I know that was a lot of people's introduction to anime. At the very least,
I
at the time it
think
was.
so. I'm not
I don't know.
sure on that.
I don't know. My dad told me he tried watching Speed Racer again when he was much older, and he said, "This is so stupid."
I must say, it's the best kind of stupid.
I don't
I
know.
watched that Speed Racer Next Generation show also. That thing on Nick. Remember that?
I remember that show. I remember it was a weird combination of flash animation and CGI cars.
Yeah.
It was
I
weird.
don't remember if it looks good or not because as a kid I just kind of thought everything looked good. I
I've
remember
seen
Chim Chim being a robot.
but yeah, next week, Speed Racer. Go, Speed Racer, go. You got a closing?
I was gonna do I cannot believe you're ending the podcast, but we already did that for the opening.
Vote President Neil Breen. 100% of the votes. I don't know.